Hi there, a very good morning, good afternoon to all of you, depending on wherever you're watching me. This simply Stocks, and I'm here with another video after a while. So this has been month and a half since I put up the last video, but since the mayhem is going on in the market from the highs over the last 1 week or so, 1 or 2 weeks, so I thought about just sharing my views on the market to you all. Hope you all are doing well. So let's get started. First of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation. People taking any position to any share that I talk about should that with their own due diligence and research, and I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about, and that I'm not a portfolio advisor. I'm not an official BSc NSC member, and whatever financial decisions that you take, kindly take that on board that you do consult with your financial advisor about it. Any investment into any asset class or financial, you can say, asset is laden with market risk. So before I talk about the market as a whole, and this is what this video is all about, his small request is kindly support me on Patreon. Once you do that, helping grow the channel, help you also ask me questions, seek out answers in greater detail. Once you get the $10 membership, you'll have access to my portfolio, my watch list, and a number of podcasts I'll put up from time to time on market and company, as well as whatever you have queries with respect to the market, you can ask me there. So let's get straight away to the indices, and let me take you to the TradingView website, and I normally use that. This is my you can say all the indices in here with Bitcoin, Ethernet, etc., and the mid cap, small cap index, etc. And currently I'm tracking the small cap index because the people do it, and today also it's catapulting down after going to 42,320. So basically the reason I'm making this video is over the last 12 13 years being in this market, finally, and this has come to me after a long while, what I have realized is that this is just a game of excesses on both ends. So when the market goes up, whether small cap, mid cap, large cap, and goes up big time over a period of 1 year, 2 years, then we'll see a lull for a considerable period. Now, that period could be 18 months, 12 months, 15 months, but the drawdown could be big. And we normally, most of us as traders, because I consider somebody who's investing even for 1 or 2 years are traders basically, we need to be very vigilant with respect to how we get into the market. Even for those investors, suppose those who have got in 2020. So if I take a 5 year chart in here, somebody who would have got in here, say around on the small cap index, I'm talking about around 10,000, 10,500 or so, when the small cap index hit below 10,000, he ought to have probably taken out some chunks of it, their money by 2022, because the index itself went up 3x. The index went up 3x from 10,000 to 30,000. And that is exactly what one needs to understand, because over that period, say from October, November 21 till around March, we hardly did anything. Although some of the stocks, some of your stocks in the mid and small cap domain might have done fine, but that's how you make big money. So basically what happens is, if you can ride this phase, not the bottom but the meat of this phase, like this one, and you're able to make money out here, nobody knows the top, but you understand that the way IRCTC was behaving and other stocks were behaving, that things are looking extremely you can say jittery at the top, and eventually we fell. So if somebody would have booked some profits in here and got in again on major declines during that you can say Ukraine war, etc., in 22 and whatever took place, and been patient around after investing here, around here, even here, or somewhere here, or even down there in this 15-18 month period, then it's time for that person to probably look at taking out some of you can say chips away, because we are trading at, look at the RSI. So the RSI is pointing towards 88, 89 on a on this phase, on a 5 year basis. We are extremely overbought. We were extremely overbought, And this is what I have come up with. Over the last few weeks, I have decided that I'll talk about the markets, and I'll talk about whatever learnings I have had in the market. So I'll try to make consistent videos. I'll try to do that. There is a lot of things that go on at home, so it is difficult for me to spare time and get on net to make videos. But this time around, I made an ardent effort that okay, from here on in, I'll try to make up videos not on stocks personally, but on how to trade into the market from a medium term perspective. I'm not talking of 1 week, 2 weeks, but talking of 6 months perspective to 2 years perspective, 1 year perspective, how to trade, how to build capital over a period of time by trading on intermediate, you can say, time frames, not on time frames of intraday, etc. So that's one thing. Plus investments also, you need to understand, as I mentioned, from 2020, the way things have moved, one needed to be careful. Now from 23 March, over the last 1 year, what the small cap index has done, so it has gone from around 26,000, 25, 26,000, all the way to 45, 46,000. I think 46,800 was the high. So if I take that on a rough calculation basis, we have moved up some 20,000 points in a year, 75, 77% at the peak. So 75% return in a year is not sustainable, and the market is bound to give out or give away plenty of it. And that is what we are seeing. So if you think that we are close to a bottom, you are extremely mistaken. But at the same time, over the next 1 to 2 months, we'll get very, very good opportunities in select small caps and select mid caps to buy into. People talk about a lot of things. They are talking of whatever the SEBI chairman said, and the fact that there is stress test going on. Actually, the stress test is going on for we as traders more than investors even. And so these things do happen. So if I look back in 2021 October, everything was rosy, things were looking good, we were trading at 23, 24 times earnings. We thought that we will go up to 26, 27 times. In 2008 we were doing 28 times. So we could go there, and eventually we fell. Why did we fell? Basically we fell because everything was fine. So when everything is fine and everybody, nearly everybody is making money, that's where the trouble begins and starts, and that's where the topping out phase begins. The second, you can say, the second indication of a top is that your portfolio will go up 2-3% every day for a decent period, 1 week, 2 week, and you're just up 20-25% in a couple of weeks. That's where the major, you can say, chunk of topping out is happening. Whatever you're buying, it's going up. So what happened was, if I go back in the last 3 months, if you look what has happened. So this is a 3-month chart of the BSC small cap, and you will see that the market went up. I mean, the index went up from around 40,000, 42,000. So if I take out the 6 months chart, it's more visible that the stocks went up sharply and the index went up sharply from all the way from this October period when we fell and we were close to around 35,000. We went all the way to 45,000 in one go from October end to around January. So majorly in 3 months, from October end to January, things went from around 35,000 to 45,000, 35% move in the index in 3 months. And that is why, on the face of it, on the weight of the kind of movement that the index has shown over the last 1 year, if you see here from March 23 till here, and especially over the last 3-4 months, 5 months from October, when the index was around, say, 35,000, all the way to here when it was around 46,800 early February. So on this weight of the kind of move that the index has faced, we are going down. Now next question is, and I'll go to mid cap and Nifty as well. Next question is, where could this end, or where could this first of all, this will end extremely badly. Whatever we have seen over the last, you can say, 15-20 days, the way this market has fallen, if you see here, uh, the way this market has fallen from around March onwards, because even at that time we had some hope at around 45,500, 800, but from 45,800 we are at 41,850, and we made a low here of around 40,000. So we had fallen some 11%, 11, 12%. If I take from the highs around 12, 13% on the small cap index, and then some recovery has taken place. Normally what has happened is that in after a big year for any indices in the Indian market, the correction is pretty decent. So in the Nifty, the correction is normally around 15%. In the mid cap index, the correction is around 23-25%, and in the small cap index, the correction on an average over the last 10 years, what we have seen is around from 2014, if we take out the data, the correction has been around 33-35%. So if I take the top at around 46,800, I don't have very good news for you, because even if I take a 33% fall from there, and it's a good 15,000 point fall. So from 47,000, we are looking at a scenario where the small cap index is headed towards 32,000. Over the next few weeks, few months, we will get there. And that is why I believe that if somebody is in profit still or is in a small loss and they are trading into the market from a 6 months, 3 months perspective, they need to probably build cash. I am building cash. I have made portfolios a number of times, making portfolio, taking out money, making portfolio, taking out money over the last 1 month as a trader, 1.5 month. And now what I have decided is, unless we get to on the Nifty, and I'll come to the Nifty next, unless we get to somewhere around 22,500 on the Nifty, and let's just open that, I am not going to get into the market that easily. So let me just give you an idea of the Nifty. In another video, I'll make a video on the small cap index as well. Now, in case of the Nifty, we are at around 21,960. Again, we are falling today, and as on expected lines. So whoever is saying that, okay, the correction is over and we could be, I mean, if 21,850 is saved, we will be fine. Difficult to say that, okay, how much will fall and all, but I think 21,850 will be broken. I mean, look at this. I mean, if you see here from October till today, so from October, that's November, December, January, February and March, over the last 5 months, the 50 DMA has not been broken, let alone the 200 DMA. If I talk of the 200 DMA, the 200 DMA on the upside was broken on the Nifty in April 23, and since then we didn't even come close to it, apart from October 23 when we nearly reached there. So you cannot go like this forever. So from 2020 to 24 we have had a very good run. That is not to say that we are going to collapse as a market. It is just that one needs to be prudent and need to probably buy on deeper declines and just stay put, because I still believe by December this year, by the end of the year or by March of 2025, will be much higher on the indices, will be much higher on Nifty. But what will happen is portfolios of people will be damaged so much that they will not be able to make a lot of money once the recovery happens. So I believe on the Nifty also, this 21,850-ish level, which is the your 50 DMA, that should go, and I'm looking at whether the Nifty will be able to save this 200 DMA, which is 20,280. And so that is why I believe that there is a very decent decline that is possible, not in a one-way manner. Nothing goes down or up one way in the markets, but I think we'll go below 20,300 this time around, and eventually that's where strong value will emerge. So currently at 21,000, say 22,000 on a round figure, we are trading at 20 times FY25 earnings. That's 1100 rupees. Now I saw on one of the television channel, one of the expert, and he's a renowned expert, talking of earnings to be 1260 rupees. Now he should have mentioned which year he's talking about. So basically 1260 rupees is of for FY26. On FY26 basis, absolutely the market is very much cheap. So if I take FY26 numbers, then the market is trading at 17 times, which is very cheap. But what will happen in the next 6 months? People are not looking at FY26. People are looking at next 2 months elections, then the crude prices, then many other factors. So I'll come back with another video in a bit. So there'll be two videos uploaded because I have to go and pick up my child from school, and there's other stuff that is to be done. But I'll have a detailed video, another video in a couple of hours time. I'll make in an hour's time, and I'll probably load up both the videos simultaneously, and we'll talk about why the market is falling, what are the reasons, why I believe that this will fall. This is not technical only, there are many other factors that are going on, and I believe that we are headed much lower from here, and we'll talk about levels in detail in a bit. Thank you.